Hey guys, welcome to Smoke Sports. Today I'm joined by the one and only UFC prospect, Mr. Terrance McKinney. How are you doing today, Mr. McKinney?
Doing good, getting this COVID test. We're headed out to the UFC PI on Sunday. So it's
Yeah,
going to be some good stuff.
that's good. So you got the upcoming fight on the 20th, right?
Yeah.
So your opponent is, sorry, let me pull up his name. Ferguson, if I say that correctly.
I
Uh,
still don't know how to say
so,
it.
so where would you rank him in like your past competition?
Mm, well, at this level, I treat everyone as a threat. So, but I know he can't wrestle. So, like, wherever the ground or like standing, wherever the fight goes, I feel like I have all the advantages for sure.
Yeah, we've seen in your game that you're very good on the ground and standing. Seeing you have two 7-second knockouts, one being in your UFC debut, and then you've also submitted a handful of your opponents. So,
Yes, sir.
so is there like anything special that you do in your training camp to prepare for any opponent, or is it like all specialized, or is it just the same camp?
I treat everyone like they have the belt, because that's my main goal. It's my main purpose. So everyone's a stepping stone towards that. So I treat them all the same because if they win, they're one step closer to the belt. If I win, I'm one step closer. So I treat it as life and death at this point because I want that belt as bad as I want to breathe.
Yeah. And so speaking of the UFC and the belt, you've been bouncing around between weight classes throughout your career. You've been fighting at 145 for a good number of fights and now 155. Which weight class do you feel more comfortable in?
This is the perfect weight class for me. I fought at 170 actually, two one time. But yeah, this is the perfect weight for me. I'm healthy. The weight cut's easy. I'll definitely never go down to 45 again.
Yeah. Do you think like cutting weight too much like lowered your ability or like anything did it like it affected your final result of the fight?
Definitely perfects my performance, and I start getting injured a lot more. So
Yeah.
definitely, the cut's not the best thing for athletes at all.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of weight cuts have not ended too greatly. Like as you saw on, I think it was this last Saturday with Tito Ortiz, he says that the weight cut weakened his chin. He got knocked out pretty easily by Anderson Silva.
Yeah. That was nuts.
You
I
watched that
love.
fight?
Nah, I didn't watch none of that. I already knew Anderson was gonna bust him up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, so speaking of UFC debuts, if we backtrack a little bit, Paddy Pimblett made his UFC debut a couple weeks ago. And after his debut, you had a few words to say to him. And in the tweet, you said, SMH, I'm not trying to hate, but how the hell is his debut more impressive than mine? He almost lost it. It wasn't that quick and it wasn't that clean. Is there anything else you would want to say to Paddy Pimblett, or would you like to go more into that tweet?
I'm gonna leave it at like, yo, Amir. I'll see you soon, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you see a fight with you and Paddy going on in the future?
We're definitely gonna look to push for that fight after this one.
So he's definitely on your radar for sure.
Yeah, we got a couple guys, he got the hype. And I know without a shadow of doubt I'll get the job done.
Yeah, I feel like that's a perfect war, a matchup that everyone wants to see right now. You have the 7-second knockout in the Fame, and he's coming off he's got the hype train going from leading up into his next fight.
Yeah, it's gonna be good for the fans. He's tough. I'm tough. It's gonna be a great fight, and I'm looking forward to it whenever it happens.
Honestly, all fights you're in, at least from my perspective, you try to make all of them as entertaining as possible for however long they last.
Exactly. I'm here to kill or be killed.
Exactly, that's how it should be. And then I got a couple more questions for you. So I've seen that you've worked with Michael Chiesa before. And what has he taught you? Like, has he worked with you on your stand-up, your ground game, or just like what effect has he had on your game in general?
He just made sure I kept my head on straight, and just seeing him and his success was really motivating. I think that was more the Hughes team, just watching his platform, seeing how he handled it, and see how he's being a leader at the gym. And I kind of just tried to feed off that.
So you say he's like a very good leading personality for the
Yeah,
gym?
yeah, exactly. I don't train with him anymore, but when
Or
I
for
was
like
there.
when you did.
Yeah, he was definitely the guy.
So speaking of Michael Chiesa and the gym and everything, like how you got here, you were very open about your backstory after your UFC debut. And if you won't mind, I'm going to read the tweet. And then if you want to, you can go a little bit more into it, if that's all right.
Yeah, for sure.
So after your debut, you said, 5 years ago, I overdosed and died twice. 2 years ago, I made it to the UFC Contender Series and lost. But 3 weeks ago, I made my debut and set a record. Oh, my bad. Don't let mistakes and losses define you. Every day is a new chance to be better than you were.
Yeah, I pretty much shared the story so many times. Like I was just being a college kid, being dumb, got got lit on drugs, ended up getting way too lit, falling through a window, and then after I knocked myself out, woke up and I was just going crazy.
Yeah. But hey, it's not about what happened in the past. It's about how you rebrand yourself and get yourself going into the future.
Exactly. I don't stress those things, just stepping stones, either it makes
Exactly.
you or break you, you know.
Yeah. And then so what would you say is like your strongest attribute overall, like in your whole ground game, your stand up?
I feel like it's my ability to take risks.
That's always good. And then so um sorry. And then so you finish a lot of your fights very quickly, as we've seen. Your past four fights have been all under 17 seconds, or your past four victories. And so do you feel like if you were pushed to go the full 3 rounds or the full 5 rounds in a championship fight, you'd be able to withstand all 5 rounds?
Yeah, like I said, we do 10 round sparring every Friday, so we're ready for it all. Like I told you, man, every time I'm training for a fight camp, I'm treating this guy like he has the UFC belt. So we're coming different every time. Like that's why you guys seen the spectacular finish so fast, because I'm treating everyone like they have the UFC belt, and that's what's gonna make me more dangerous than anyone.
I agree. That's the motivation. If you want it more, you're going to end up getting it over your opponent for sure.
Yeah.
And then I have a game that I like to call 10 and 10. So I'm going to name the top 10 contenders in your weight class. And you just like give a quick, what's your opinion on each of them, if that's all right with you.
Yeah, I'm with it. Let's do it.
All right. So starting out at number 10, we got Conor McGregor.
Just a hard hitting guy. That's pretty much it. Not too much about him. I like his swagger, his drip. He's a cool dude.
All right. Then we got Dan Hooker.
And Hooker, solid dude, tough. He's actually one of the hardest fights I think out there for anyone in the division, because he's ready to go to war.
Yeah. Then we got RDA.
To be honest, I think he's one of the most average dudes in the rankings.
You you see nothing special in him?
Not at all. Like he's basic. All you really have to do, you don't even really need to know how to wrestle. You take him down, you can't even get up.
Yeah.
So I
But
see him
like,
at the low level.
what would you say like about his opposition? Because obviously he's been in there with some of the best, like Usman, Covington, Khabib. How would you say he did against them?
I think he's just more of a survivor. That's when I see him fighting, it's like more just to survive. You know, once things aren't going his way, I can tell he gets complacent, frustrated. Can tell he has a lot of mental battles out there.
So you think he's never like fully focused on the fight and he always has something going on outside?
Yeah, I definitely can tell. Yeah.
Well, really quickly pause to that game. Speaking on that, when you're in preparation, are you fully zoned in no matter what to the fight?
To be honest, I really don't even be thinking about the fight till I go out there. I was
So
literally
you're
was
so you
I
keep your
was
mind
literally
off it,
text
right?
I was text people and all that. It's just because like I trust in God and I truly believe like I'm one of the baddest men in the world. So I don't even stress the fight. I just gotta go out there and perform. I'm just thinking in my head, how many ways can I finish this man? And how's the quickest way I can execute it?
Well, we've definitely seen that you can execute and finish fights very quickly.
To go every time, we don't get paid by the minute,
Exactly. You're not paid for overtime.
at all.
And then, so after RDA, we got Tony Ferguson.
I like Tony, honestly, like he's one of my favorite fighters. He's a warrior, but I think he's past his prime. He's old. A lot of these guys are getting old in the division. It's time for a new generation, to be honest.
So with Tony Ferguson, a lot of people are saying that as he's past his prime, they still think he can compete with these top contenders. But the only reason he's been losing fights is because he's been put in there with some killers.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
Okay. What did they say, nigga? Sorry, I'm just looking at these COVID test results.
Yeah, no problem. Do what you gotta do.
All right, we're good to go now. Negative. We're good to go.
It's awesome.
We're gonna be in Vegas from the 19th for me through the 26th. So I'm excited.
Sounds fun. And this is all for preparation for your upcoming fight?
Yeah, I'm gonna do some physical therapy stuff with us. And just to train with some different UFC guys, get some different looks.
Gotcha. And so after Tony, we got Islam Makhachev.
I see Islam win the belt. Really, no one in the division wants to fight him. And it makes me want to fight him. I like that about him.
So you think that – oh, my bad. Keep going.
Can't say you're the best fighter in the world if you don't want to fight everyone.
That's a good way of looking at it, yeah. Obviously, he's been trained by Khabib. Do you see similarities between Khabib's style and Islam's style?
I think Khabib obviously was just a little bit better at it. He has better head movement. So, but yeah, Islam's the truth.
You think Islam would be in there ready for a war no matter who he was in against?
Yeah, he's a grinder, man. He's always in shape. He's always ready to go the distance. But I don't see him as a real threat at either, though. He's just going to lay on top of you.
So you think if you just have a good enough ground game, it's going to be easy to get around his style?
Yeah, we're going to get up. But I'm not just going to let a man lay on me. That's for sure. Right here.
And then after Islam, we got Michael Chandler.
Michael Chandler, savage, hard worker, good man. Honestly, I really like the dude. I like his work ethic. So, nothing bad to say about Chandler. He's a dope dude.
And then after Michael Chandler, we got Beneil Dariush.
Beneil's a good dude too. Happy for his family. Happy for all the stuff he went to, and God bless the dude for sure.
A lot of people call him the dark horse in the division. What is your opinion on that?
I don't really see him beating up the higher up guys past Tony. I think that was just a good selection for Tony because he's pretty much done, in my opinion.
So you feel like Beneil, not cherry picked, but he looked for who was the most
the highest ranking and the easiest one.
Yeah, that's how I was thinking how to say it, but yeah, that's what I was getting at. And then we got Justin Gaethje.
Justin Gaethje, man. Like I said, he's the highlight reel. The dude's a savage. Bonus after bonus. I'm trying to be like that guy. He gets through the bag. I'm trying to get to these main events.
I personally don't think you're too far from main events. I feel like you're like a fight away. You're right there.
Yeah, the time's coming, and I'm just grateful to God for it all. Really appreciate how he's moving my life right now. And I'm just looking to seize the moment and keep it going.
And then we got Dustin Poirier.
Dustin Poirier, I think he gets the belt against Charles Oliveira, to be honest.
All right. And then we got Charles Oliveira.
I think he has the most dangerous ground game in the UFC.
Like overall, every division.
No, not every division. I haven't seen all the grapplers, but for my weight class,
for your weight class, he's the hardest test for ground game, right?
Yeah, for sure.
All right, and that's been 10-10. And I got one more thing I want to do with you, and it's just predictions on all these upcoming fights. So UFC 266, 267, and 268. So in 260, so starting the list out, we got Usman versus Covington too.
I'm gonna go with Usman for sure. He's a lot sharper, his jab stiff. And he already broke the man's jaw once, so and he's more technical now with the stand up. So I see it being a lot quicker. Probably like a third round finish late.
So you feel like Usman's striking has gotten better while Colby's has stayed about the same level?
But he never really had good stand up. He just has like a good volume, I'd say, more so. I feel like his stand up looks good because he has like a lot of volume. And you can't dodge 100 punches. I don't care how filthy you are, you're gonna get hit.
Yeah.
So the way his volume is, it makes his stand up good. It works for him. But I don't think it's very clean at all.
And then we got John Blehovich versus Glover Teixeira.
I'm gonna have to go with Jan. He's too powerful. He's younger. And yeah, it's gonna be shame and still.
So with John's last performance, we saw him against Israel Adesanya. What was your opinion on that fight?
That fight was hella close, but those takedowns sealed the deal. He did what he had to do, and I really enjoyed that fight actually.
Yeah, I feel like that was also a good fight.
He proved his stand-up's just as technical, in my opinion. It's not like he was getting really superly outstruck, in my opinion.
Yeah. Also, shoot, I forgot what I was going to say, but let's just move on to the next one, which is Petrian versus Aljamain Sterling, the rematch.
I like both of them as a fighter, but I'm definitely gonna go with Peter Yan. He's a dog. Like I feel like he's like an A+ in like every category at fighting. Like this man is scary as hell. You beat that guy, you're the real deal.
Exactly. And then we got, going back to the lightweights, we got Gaethje versus Chandler.
I'm so stoked for that fight. I don't know who to pick in that. I'll put that. When they do the parlays and
Yeah.
stuff, I'll just do with that as a pick 'em. Like I feel like there's gonna be even bad odds on both of them.
So both of them have had very competitive things to say towards each other. Chandler went out and said that whoever takes the first back step is a timid soul, and they've already lost the fight. And Gaethje said, hey, I may take the first back step, but once I hit you hard, you're going to be shooting for legs, and we'll see who the real fighter is at the end.
Someone's getting hurt. That's all I know.
And then
two powerful men right there.
two power punchers.
Yep. But I definitely gonna have to go with Justin Gaethje just because like his chin's just way superior compared to Michael Chandler, and I think that's gonna help him get it done. It's just how tough he is. But I think technique wise, definitely think Michael Chandler is like the better fighter, but just the toughness and the willing to make it a dog fight, I think Chandler gets it done.
Do you think that the winner of this fight's going to verse the winner of Oliveira versus Poirier?
But yes, that's definitely what's going to happen.
All right, moving on. We got Alexander Volkanovsky versus Brian Ortega.
In my opinion, they're fighting for the interim title. Max Holloway is definitely a champion. He definitely won that last fight. He dropped him first round and second round. So I don't see how it could even win towards Alex Volkanovsky, no disrespect. But like I said, I think Ortega's gonna shock the world and get the upset, and Max gonna take the belt back, as it's been his really, in my opinion, the whole time.
Yeah, I honestly watched that fight too. I did think it was a very close fight for sure, but I feel like Max did edge it a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. It was a good fight though.
And then we got Nick Diaz versus Robbie Lawler, the rematch, 17 years later.
I see the same result.
Nick Diaz by KO.
Yep.
All right, then we got Charles Oliveira versus Dustin Poirier. We've already touched on it a little bit, but would you like to go into a little more detail?
I just seen that what's his name could get hurt. Like he didn't really get hit super clean, but hit him on the brain, it dropped him. And I think Dustin's way better at finish people once they get hurt. So I see Dustin win the belt, and I'm actually going to be happy for dude. He's a good guy as well.
You think he's paid his dues to get the belt?
Yeah, he's paid his due. He's always doing donations. Like, he's a real family guy. All of them, like Michael Chandler. I like him. Like his family values. Good guy. He loves God. I really like. There's a lot of good guys in our division, to be honest.
Yeah, you can't really say you really hate any of them because a lot of them are very
I know.
straightforward and nice.
They're all cool guys. Yeah, exactly.
So switching off from predictions to back to your career, how do you see the rest of your career playing out after your fight on November the 20th?
We're just gonna keep making history, and once people see what I do, there's no way they're not gonna know that God is real. And I promise you, by 2023, I'll have the UFC belt.
So by 2023, you'll have the belt. Do you feel like you would want to become the double champ by 2024?
I'll probably be bigger by then, and that's definitely go up to 170 eventually.
So would you plan on going like simultaneously, like how McGregor did from 145 to 55 and get both belts at the same time? Or would you do another transition and work your way up the weight class?
Nah, we're just get that super fight. We want straight to the money.
Straight to the money fight. That's how it goes.
Yes, sir.
And then do you feel like 170 is your max weight that you could like fight at?
Well, where I still think like it wouldn't be like advantage because the guys aren't that much taller than me. It's just guys be having crazy reach once you get to that middleweight division, like 81-inch reach. Like, what is real? There'll be some long guys at that weight class. So
Yeah.
I'll go up to 170 for sure. That's probably it.
So out of all the top contenders in every weight class, what fights do you want to see made in the UFC?
I'm ready for that Sean O'Malley versus Cody No Love. We need that. The fans need that. And I really haven't been following it much, to be honest. I've been watching it kind of, really, but I've just been chilling lately, focusing on like networking, getting my name out there, branding myself.
Yeah. Who would you have in Sean O'Malley versus Cody Garbrandt?
Cody No Love, of course. I think
then
he's just all around more versatile. More weapons.
Then what was your opinion on Corey Sandhagen versus TJ Dillashaw? Speaking of that weight class.
I thought Corey Sandhagen beat his ass, to be honest. If you go watch the clips, there's all highlights of him just slipping and ripping.
Yeah.
Moving on point, he was nice. He was picking them apart. Broke his nose and flying. These were so vicious.
He like damaged his knee in the first round. And he was able to keep his distance, which was very good against TJ.
Yeah. Yeah, once TJ got hurt, he definitely has my respect. The dude's a freaking freak, like, tore his ACL, but that's how I know he was a wrestler, because wrestlers got that different mentality. They really just don't care.
So how long have you been training in MMA and wrestling and boxing?
I've only been doing MMA for 4 years.
But did you have like a wrestling background before that or like boxing before that?
I wrestled in high school and college.
That's cool. That's good. And then one last question I have is a lot of people have been saying that they want to see Francis Ngannou versus John Jones. What would your take on that fight be?
John Jones wins, but Francis does got that one punch knockout power. So if Francis did win, who's really going to be surprised?
Exactly. I feel like that's like a very good pick'em fight because if John Jones is able to stay away, he can win it. But if he gets caught, it could be over.
You have to utilize his wrestling rather than John Jones is smarter, and he has a better head movement and stand-up defense than people think. John Jones wins that like 9 out of 10.
Yeah. So thank you again for doing this interview. I did not mention that at the start, but thank you so much for doing the interview.
Nah, I got you, man. It's all love, brother.
And then, so I'm gonna finish it up. You got anything you want to say to the people watching?
Yeah, make sure you guys tune in November 20th for my fight. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter. It's TX155. And shout out to God and be ready for history, you guys.
His Twitter and Instagram and every link of his will be in the bio. Make sure you go check him out, Terrance McKinney.